Let's talk about how to fill a crucial job opening in 5 days. Now, I'm assuming that if you are filling a job within 5 days and it's crucial, that something probably happened. There was a team member who quit, there's an emergency in that team member's life, you know you have to fire a team member, some sort of instance happened in your business that's causing this chaos moment. And so maybe in one of my previous videos about how to create engaged employees, we could just drop that in the down here right there. You might want to watch that so you can fix those problems in the future. But specific to, man, we got 5 days to fill this job. How are you going to do this? I got you. I have done this multiple times inside my business here at Cardone Ventures, and I just like to give you some of my tips because I've hired hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of team members, and the faster you can learn how to do this, the more successful you're going to be, because the reality is you're going to have to transition team members and there's going to be problems in your organization. And so your confidence in being able to find great people in a very short amount of time is super important if you want to grow and scale. So let's just dive into some of these tips. First tip, your problem is that you don't have the right person right now. So you should be willing to spend money in order to solve this problem. There's no other obvious choice besides saying, okay, I'm going to go to my recruitment platform. That could be ZipRecruiter, that could be Indeed. Back in the day, I used to use Glassdoor for recruiting. Wherever it is that you recruit people, go to that place and say, I'm going to throw down $500 to fill this role. That is going to increase the amount of candidates that you have. And let me just remind you, your business does not have a $500 problem. You should probably write that down. Your business does not have a $500 problem. Your business has a people problem. And if you find the right person, you're going to fix that problem in spades. Why even think with, I can't spend $500 on recruiting. But let me just tell you, I'm so with you. I'm the type of person that wants to penny pinch every little expense in a business to ensure that you're not wasteful. And it's so easy as a business owner to think, I'm just going to do that. I'll just source instead of having to spend. I'll just, ask people who they might know so they don't have to spend money. Spend the frickin' money. Waste money on finding the right people, because when you do waste money on spending the right people or finding the right people, you're going to be able to move faster. The right person, they need to get your attention. You need to get their attention. It has to go both ways. So you spending money on posts, don't be worried about that. Spend the money. Now, when you're looking at the resumes, it's going to be important that you're paying attention to what metrics, what actual numbers they've been able to impact through their resume. If they just talk about all of the nice things, works well with others, has a positive attitude, and it's just high-level competencies, but there isn't any meat to the experience that they have, pass on that resume. That's also going to reduce your time spent because you know what you're looking for. If there's an entire resume and not a single number on the resume, keep moving forward. That's your filtering mechanism. And your ability to have these filters is going to shorten the time that it takes you to actually hire a team member. Third thing I would highly recommend that you do is increase the amount of money that you would give to your team members for referring somebody for this role. So we normally pay about $500 per role that we're hiring for referrals from our team members. Meaning if you're a team member at Cardone Ventures and you refer somebody and they end up working out with us for at least 2 months, you get paid $500 because you just solved a problem for us, and we're willing to pay team members for solving problems. If it's a really important role, you could go up to $1,500. You could go up to $2,000, because when you have someone's attention inside your team on, oh man, I could make $2,000 doing this. I'm going to want to put energy into really thinking about who's in my network, who could I talk to. They become your voluntary sales team. And when the team members that they decide to refer actually end up working out, there's already some sort of alignment that exists there, because they're a referral. There's some known entity. They're not just some random stranger off the street. Now, not to say that there's anything wrong with random strangers who happen to work for you, who come off the street and then they become remarkable. That can totally happen. But you're going to likely increase your success with that team member if it comes from a referral of your existing team member. So how can you leverage those referrals? By just ensuring that you're paying them, and you're paying more for the ones that you know you need to hire, like yesterday. Tip number 4 on this is having a clear interview process and very specific outcomes for what you're looking for. I've worked with hundreds of business owners to help them hire people. And what's so fascinating to me is they don't really have clarity as they're going through an interview of what they're actually looking for. And it sounds really simple because, you're hiring this role, you've made this job post that you're willing to pay some of your profit in your business for, you're willing to invest into because you need this problem solved. So there is a specific outcome that you understand that this role is going to solve, but then that outcome doesn't actually translate into what you're asking in the interview process, what you're looking for, and how you're grading and assessing criteria. So if you could connect these two things and really have a clearly structured interview process here, speaking of clearly structured interview process, I'm going to explain why I have this in a second, but I'm just going to pop open my book here because I wrote this pretty cool book. It's called Teamwork, How to Build a High Performance Team. And in this book, I dive super deep into an interview process that has worked for me to hire our team of now over 220 team members. So the interview process is on page 69, chapter 7. Let's just go there right now. You'll see that in this interview process chapter, I give you every single question that I ask in an interview. And it's not like a choose your own adventure kind of question. These are the questions that you need to ask without fail. Everybody needs to go through these exact same questions. So I'll give you the first 5 for the first step of the interview process. I don't even know why I'm going to look at this because I have this memorized to heart, but you can see question 1, question 2, and some context. Question 1, what research did you do about Cardone Ventures? You'll notice I'm conversational. Well, that might have been a little bit more intense. It's normally actually like this. So tell me, what research did you do about Cardone Ventures? And I'm smiling and I'm just making eye contact. I'm not being harsh and critical. Just what research did you do? If they didn't do any research, I'm not going to be that interested in moving that person forward. Why? If they don't care about the place that they work and they didn't do research and they don't understand what they're getting themselves into, why would I be so delusional to think that when they are a team member that they're going to do research and care and put time and energy into talking to our clients and prepping for those conversations? Of course they're not going to. If they don't care enough about doing research for the job that they're going to take, why are they going to put that energy and attention into the actual work that they do? So to me, that's already an automatic disqualifier. Question number 2. I want them to walk me through the last 3 positions that they've held and the results that they created in those roles. That's important. Results. I mentioned earlier that you really save a lot of time by only looking at resumes that have numbers to quantify the impact. But it's easy for people to say, oh, I helped grow the social media presence by 70%. And that can just be a made up number. It's not like you're going to call the employer and say, did they actually help with 70%? Maybe they did help with 70%, and this is what a lot of people run into. They helped with 70%, but they also had 12 other team members that were helping with it, and they weren't the ones creating the idea, and it was because there was one thing that just magically happened. They got a celebrity endorsement that helped grow by the 70%, and yet you're taking this 70% and just assuming that they were the one that actually created it. So when you ask them to walk you through what they're responsible for and also the results, you're gonna be able to suss out, are they bullshitting you? If they're bullshitting you, wouldn't you rather know that on the second question of the interview instead of 6 months after they've onboarded and they're talking to all your clients and you put them in a leadership role? Ideally, just handle this in the interview process. Question number 3 is around the team members' goals. So I like to ask here, I say something along the lines of this. At Cardone Ventures, we're here to help business owners achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals through the growth of their businesses. And we are on a mission to help 1 million business owners do exactly that. But our mission and our vision isn't just important for our clients. It's also important for our team members to see Cardone Ventures as the vehicle for their success. So with that, what are your 5-year professional goals? As soon as I understand if the person is goal-oriented or not, I'm going to have clarity of if they're going to be a fit. If they're not goal-oriented, I don't care if they have all the experience in the world. I don't want to be around people who are not goal-oriented. I don't want our organization to be subjected to people who are not goal-oriented. So this, as the 3rd interview question, is an immediate yes, no, pass, fail. it's either going to work or it's not going to work. If they don't have goals, there's no place for them. We're 10X around here. You can't be 10X and not actually have goals. I don't know how to communicate with somebody who doesn't have goals, because what are we going to talk about? Where we're at, where we've been, the problems? No, that has no place in a business that's growing. Question number 4 that makes this process really succinct. What are your salary expectations? If you do not know their salary expectations and you wait until the 3rd interview or the 2nd interview to have the conversation, you're just prolonging that it potentially isn't a fit. If you posted the role for $75,000 and they expect $125,000, I would rather know that on the front end and be able to say, hey, great, we can give you an offer for $75,000 and have you have the opportunity for incentive comp of up to $125,000. But at this time, the organization isn't able to invest $125,000 into this role without tying very specific outputs, very specific metrics to the growth of this role. And if you're in alignment with the person, fantastic. Check that one off the box. Check that off the box. You get what I'm saying? Just like a little check mark. Get that one handled, and then you move on to the next question, which is, so what questions do you have for us? It is important to know what questions team members have. And if they don't have questions, for me, they're not a fit. I one time got an interview with somebody who I got to this last part, I was really liking where the conversation was going. And instead of asking a good question, and there are bad questions to ask in an interview, for sure, on both sides, but instead of having some great question that they asked, they just asked, what does PTO look like? What do benefits look like? Can you tell me more about work from home policies? It was so transactional. And in any business that's trying to grow, there should be 1,000 questions that a potential employee could ask you where they're interested about the product, the service, the customer, the growth plan, what their opportunity looks like, what success looks like. Like, you could go on and on with somebody who's curious about how they'd fit into this organization. And here's the other mindset shift that might be helpful. High performers are curious. High performers want to know that they made the right choice. You want high performers. You don't want somebody who's average. You don't want someone who's below average. So if you know that people who are choosing their future career, who care about where they're going, who want to make more money and who want to develop, if you know that that's the type of person that you're looking for, and in the first interview, they're already demonstrating to you that they're just like ho-hum about understanding what this opportunity looks like, pass. Not interested, keep moving forward. So I want to share some experiences that our team has had with you guys, because I'm going to take this microphone. If you are curious about the 2 additional parts of our interview process, I would love to give you a free copy of my book, Teamwork, so that you can check out those processes in chapter 7 all on your own. If you go to cardoneventures.com/teamwork, that's cardoneventures.com/teamwork, I will give you a free copy of this book so that you can dial in your interview process. So with that, let's go interview some of our Cardone Ventures team members. Are you a real employee?
Totally fake. This is a fake desk.
That was not what you were supposed to say.
Oh, it's very real. It's very real. I'm a real employee.
Okay, so Mandy, how long did your well, first of all, this is Mandy. How long did your hiring process with Cardone Ventures take?
The entirety of it, probably about 5 days.
5 days? Okay, so tell us more.
Okay, so I submitted an email. It was in the evening, and within 10 minutes, I got a response back from the HR director. And by the next day, I had the first interview. I got my case study information same day that evening, and I had about 16 hours to do my case study, to where I then presented that the next day, and within 3 days from that, I got the offer letter.
So that's, first of all, fantastic. A little tip: if you want to find people like Mandy, give them a way to interact with you very quickly. So she said that she sent an email. In our job description, or in the job post, it actually will say, if you're interested in moving this process along quickly, send an email to careers@cardoneventures.com. And I'm assuming that's what you did.
That's probably what I did. I actually thought it was a trick, to be honest, because there was over 100 applicants on LinkedIn for the same job position. And I was so surprised when I got a response back in 10 minutes.
So what would you share with other business owners that are looking to hire freaking top tier Mandy-esque talent for them to do in the interview process that would have helped you, I'm glad that you didn't, but would have helped you move forward with them in the same way that you move forward with us?
Having a super clear vision in your job posting of who you are and what you do and the type of people that you're looking for. Because I actually applied for a job that I had no experience really in, even though I could do it, because I was so aligned with the vision that I read for the company and I wanted to be a part of it and I saw the opportunity. And I didn't even get hired for that one. I got hired for something else.
That is, your story's actually like, it's super great. I know we're doing this, like, again, she's like a real team member, but it's like cool that you're real, I guess. Okay, we're gonna go find another employee in the wild. This is our awesome team of directors. So can I like, hey Anissa, like I can see you there. So we're talking to business owners. I'm assuming it's a business owner or a leader who's watching this awesome YouTube video, and I'd like to know from like each of you guys how long your interview process with Cardone Ventures took. Laura, wait here, I'm gonna pass you the mic.
Caught it. This has been a while, about 2.5 years, but I'd say a week. It was quick. And it was the week of Thanksgiving too, by the way. You did. Yeah.
It was the same. It was about a week. Yeah, very quick.
I think mine was about 4 days. I went from working on one side of the building on Tuesday or Thursday, and then the following Tuesday I was in a platform delivery.
Mine too was a week. The attack speed was very impressive. Well done, guys.
Okay, so I did not ask any of them. They're not paid actors, and we did not have this conversation. But the video, just so you guys know, is about how you can help business owners actually hire somebody within a 5-day process. So I know Laura, which just so happens that this amazing director team, and they weren't directors when they started, they've moved from advisors to senior advisors to they're in these awesome director roles where they have a team of 60 people. Is it total 60 people report to these 5 team members, which is incredible in and of itself. But I know Laura also had another little piece on this.
So now that we are interviewing other people to be team members at Cardone Ventures, what I often hear is how much they appreciate us getting back to them so fast. I know as a former candidate, it's so unnerving to never hear back from anybody. It's frustrating. You want to know, like, well, am I moving forward or not? And you're just ready to move on to that next step. So that has been a lot of feedback that I've gotten from candidates. It's just how fast we move. They appreciate it.
Okay, do any of you guys have additional feedback? Okay, we're passing it over to AJ.
I don't know if I hold the record, but I'd like to think I do. So because we're growing so fast, we have to hire so fast. We have so many clients coming in that in a 2-week span, I probably did a dozen interviews and hired 3 people within that 2-week span. So because it's so fast turnaround, we can get those spots filled, get them trained up, and then get them ready to serve clients.
So my question next goes to Kirk. I know I did not even like prep you for this, but people could look at Cardone Ventures, people could look at our organization and be like, well, of course you guys have all these great candidates because you're 10X and you already have this existing reputation. What about my small business? Nobody knows me. I don't have a lot of candidates to even pull from. How do I solve that problem? So Kirk, how would you help a business owner solve the problem of the flow from a candidate standpoint?
Absolutely. We would start with the job interview or the job description, really making sure that we know who we're talking to. So looking at the personality types that are most successful in those roles, going into the psychology of that job description, and then taking that same candidate path all the way through the job applicant journey with the interview process, leveraging their R3 in that, and then asking questions specifically to that candidate, speaking their language as they receive messages.
I just love all of you guys. And Anissa, I would like ask you something, but can you hear me? She's like, I'm good. She's like, you don't have to ask me anything. Please do not put a mic next to AJ's computer. We're going to find some more employees in the wild, but these ones are freaking spectacular. This is called our strategic business unit team. That's who they're responsible for, which means that our clients actually get to work alongside our team members to help them grow their businesses. And this is the team of people that's responsible for those teams. And they're just super badass and awesome. So thanks, guys. We're back. I had to take a momentary pause because it's middle of the afternoon here, and it's meat stick time. There's like a specific time of the day where I eat a meat stick, and this one is my favorite. But anyway, we have another team member in the wild. This is the amazing Lauren Suma. So Lauren, how long was your interview process with Cardone Ventures?
1 week.
Which is this really wasn't planned. I know you're not going to believe me that this wasn't planned. This was not planned. I did not know that all of these team members happened to have been hired within exactly when you're trying to hire somebody, which is within 5 days. So what was compelling about the interview process?
I loved at the beginning how even on interview 1, she was asking me about my goals and asked me a little bit about why I was interested in Cardone Ventures. So I felt like she was really trying to understand what I was looking for out of the role. Like the interview process was going 2 ways. So of course I was interested ahead of the first interview. That's why I applied. And then just feeling that connectivity with the recruiter at the time, Gabby, got me even more excited for rounds 2 and 3.
I wish I could introduce you guys to Gabby. She happens to be on PTO, which we're pumped about. But Gabby has been a rock star recruiter. Now she's head of HR and done some really remarkable things. So what would you tell business owners? What would you tell them if they were trying to recruit Lauren Suma? Like, what should they do in their interview process and their recruitment process in order to get your attention?
Yeah, I'd love to. I would say step 1, paint that vision for me. How am I going to achieve my goals at your company? So what are you doing as a leader, as a boss, as an organization to set your employees up for success and so that they can go even above and beyond what they thought they were capable of? To the business owner that's struggling with people, I would say just know when to ask for help. Seek out that information that you're looking for. There is somebody with the correct information. There's somebody who's done it before. There's always a bigger fish. So make sure that you are asking for help, looking for help, and getting the correct information to scale and grow your business.
She's a natural. So almost done with my meat stick, which means it's time to get back to work. I'm curious, what prevents you in the recruitment process from actually finding somebody in a short amount of time? Maybe it's finding the right person. I'd love to know in the comments so that we can help work this issue out of getting the right team members on your team to help you get to where you want to go. So let me know in the comments. This is the final bite right here. Don't forget to subscribe. That'd be amazing. Don't you want to enjoy more times with mid-afternoon meat sticks, all of the other amazing advice? That happens only when you subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe. Looking forward to seeing you next time.